Okay, I got one for you. Does art imitate life or does life imitate art?
I would say both. Because when I was a kid, I used to watch soap operas with my mom and my grandma. We watched like Young and the Restless and One Life to Live and All My Children. Those storylines, she said, had to come from somewhere. All that crazy stuff that was happening, it had to come from somewhere. It had to come from life. So I think art imitates life. And therefore, when we watch stuff like that, life definitely imitates art. And I know you watched a little bit of Days of Our Lives. You know about Marlena.
I got that dish, dish, dish. I got that dish. I got that dish. That dish.
Hey y'all, it's Onika.
And J.R.
And you are dishing with DaintyDysh.
So what's going on?
Oh, nothing. The store's been crazy. Holiday season, last minute shoppers. My favorite though is when the dudes come in. Like they look shell shocked. Like they don't know what to do.
I remember being one of those guys.
Yeah, shopping for wives and girlfriends and stuff. So it's really fun. You could sell them anything. You could sell them snow in the middle of June. They'd buy it just to get out of the store. Shit's hilarious. Like I love it.
You're living that retail life.
Living that retail life. I don't mind it. I'm kind of enjoying it, to be honest with you. So yeah, but how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm just, working behind the scenes, trying to get a lot of stuff done.
I know you are.
So I'm just working, 6 days a week, 7 days a week.
Okay,
that
so
time in.
Rihanna's your theme song.
What?
Work, 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 work.
Oh, yeah. You're not
That's
seeing
your
me.
theme song.
I'm not coming out of hiding at all for 2018. I'm just going to be working.
Oh, all right.
That's
All right,
it.
we'll see. It's coming up.
It is.
It is. We just got a couple more days till the new year.
We do. I mean, this is going to be released after Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have big plans for Christmas?
I am going to be hiding. I'm disappearing. I'm not doing the family thing. I'm going to do my own thing.
I'm going to be Netflixing and chilling. Listen, guys, it's not that we don't love our families because we share the same family. It's just that sometimes you just got to fly solo, Like, just have a solo Christmas.
Yeah.
So I've got my Charlie Brown Christmas tree in my apartment, my one present from my mama.
You do.
Yeah, so I'm going to, open my present and I'm going to Netflix and chill all day.
And I have no presents. I'm not buying presents. I'm not doing...
I have a present for you.
Oh, do you? Oh, thank you.
I do.
I don't have one for you.
Don't worry. You'll take care of that on my birthday.
Maybe.
I get the shaft. My birthday is like right between Christmas and New Year's. So I get the shaft always. Double gifting and all that stuff. So Christmas is not always my favorite.
Yeah. I would get you one gift if I were to get you a gift.
If you were to get me anything, it would be one gift.
Yeah. And I'd show up on New Year's Day. I forgot, I'm so sorry. Let me get your Christmas and birthday all in one.
Oh. Well, in case the listening audience is interested, it's the 30th and I'll be turning 35 years old. Very excited about this. I love aging.
I do too. I think with age comes wisdom. And
with age comes beauty, wisdom, knowledge, experience. I love aging.
The works, yeah.
People always tell me I look younger than I am. And I total compliment. Love hearing that I look 25. But I'm like, no. I earned every one of these 35 years.
Yeah, I enjoy when I shave. I get the whole, you're in your early 20s. That's kind of fun.
No, I earned it. So, but what are we dishing on today, JR?
Well, the reason I asked you that whole question about art imitating life and life imitating art is because I wanted to know if you can look past an artist's personal life for the sake of their art.
That's a really interesting question.
Do you know where I'm going? Do you need some more?
I think I know where you're going with this.
Okay, so because I know growing up, there were stories of, Roman Polanski, Woody Allen, even R. Kelly, because I was...
Michael Jackson.
And, to some degree, they were all... What, can I say forgiven? Can I say it was forgotten?
It was...
Brushed aside. And to a lesser degree, something more recent would be Chris Brown.
Yeah. I think that we have a very short attention span and very short memories, especially now with the way mass media is presented to us, like over the internet and social media. I think we just have very short attention spans. So therefore, things that appall us when they're actually happening, fast forward 3, 4, 5 years, let that person consistently produce good music or good movies or whatever they're producing, you tend to forgive them. You tend to...
Is it forgiveness?
It's not even forgiving. You tend to forget.
Okay.
Because it's not even your right necessarily to forgive. The wrong wasn't done to you specifically.
Exactly.
The only person that would have to forgive are the parties that are involved. So do we forget essentially what they have done? And I think the answer to that is yes. I think we throw ourselves up in arms like when it's happening and we're all indignant when the situation is going on. Because I know, specifically with the Chris Brown Rihanna situation, I had my thoughts. I'm not going to share them because they don't matter at this point. But I had my thoughts. I had my opinions. But my foremost thought was these are two young people. They're young and they're passionate, and this is what's a result. And the relationship is toxic according to, what the media is telling us, of course. So this was the result of a young, crazy love. And it was unfortunate. It was an unfortunate situation, but both seem to have moved on from the situation. Yeah. Dating other people, living their lives, producing music, et cetera, et cetera.
So would you say that as a woman, you support Chris Brown in his art today?
I would say I support Chris Brown in his art. Absolutely. I listen to Chris Brown. I like Chris Brown music, but I don't know Chris Brown as a person. I hear he has, anger management issues, and sometimes people have to get restraining orders and all this other stuff. I know he's a father. I don't know what type of father he is. I've never met the man, but I can speak on his art because that is what I listen to. And if in fact his art is imitating his life, I can hear the struggle that he's gone through and that he's going through. I even watched, and I believe I don't know if you watched it, but the special on Netflix on Chris Brown.
Yeah, I watched it.
I think we might have watched it together.
I was kind of in and out, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we might have watched it together. But, they're more and more coming out and opening up, not just through their music, but through other channels so people can get to know who they really are. Sometimes, people make mistakes. This is something that, and I'm not saying, okay, just because it was once, it's okay. I'm saying this is something Chris Brown has done once and he hasn't done since. Am I keeping an eye open? Of course I'm keeping an eye open. We all have our eyes on him, right?
Okay.
But when you use examples like the Bill Cosbys and the Harvey Weinsteins and those people of the world, this was a habitual, repetitive thing that was occurring in the industry and with them and women in the industry. So would I boycott Harvey Weinstein? Definitely. Like the world is boycotting this man right now.
I wanted to bring that up a little bit later about would you boycott Harvey Weinstein? But since you brought it up right now, here's some of the movies that his company has been involved in. Pulp Fiction, Django, The King's Speech, Silver Linings Playbook, and just for, shits and giggles, Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
And I've seen all of those movies.
And would you watch them again? Are you gonna boycott those films now? Are you going to?
And some of them I'm a fan of. I'm a real big fan of some of those movies.
I'm not sure what's going on, but I've heard recently Russell Simmons, the guy from Def Jam. Are you gonna boycott all Def Jam music now?
No, not all.
Are you gonna boycott Bill Cosby's Cosby Show, or even Louis C.K. Or even Kevin Spacey or Matt Lauer? Like, are you gonna just?
I was never really into Matt, but for the rest of them, like, as I said, I would want to say that I'm gonna boycott them. Mm-hmm. But in all reality, you just gave me a list of movies that I would absolutely watch again. Mm-hmm. Like, I would absolutely watch them again. I watched Silver Lining Playbook maybe like a month ago. Yeah. Without obviously, because I don't do my research. I'm not going to lie to you. Sometimes I don't. Like, I know what's going on with Harvey Weinstein. I know what's going on in that industry right now. But I'm not necessarily always the type to jump in feet first into the whole, I'm going to look up everything they've ever done. And I'm never going to watch any of that again. Because it's not a realistic way to look at things to me. Like, for me.
Okay.
It's not realistic. Like, they've produced what they've produced, but not just them. This is a brother duo. This their company. Mm-hmm. It's a duo. So yes, he was involved, but so are many other good people.
So you're going along the lines as one bad egg doesn't spoil the bunch.
One bad egg doesn't spoil the bunch. They got rid of the bad egg. They forced him out. So now, am I going to now say every movie that the company makes going forward, I'm not going to watch because of what Harvey Weinstein did. No, I can't say that because they got rid of the problem. Now, had they not gotten rid of the problem, had they swept it under the rug, that would be a different story.
Okay.
For me.
Okay. So earlier you said that you're not going to do the research into figuring anything out. So ignorance is okay.
I'm not saying ignorance is okay. I'm just saying that sometimes I know with me, I can be reticent about doing if something shocks and appalls me, I have a tendency to like, it's too much and I put it aside.
Okay.
That's my habit.
Okay.
I'll put it aside. It's too, especially this hot topic right now. You know, I've experienced sexual assault and it's been something it's been a part of my history in my past. And so this is a very hot topic for me. So I've kind of put it to the side just because it's hard for me to kind of digest it. So I don't mean to say that I wouldn't do my research at all. I'm kind of just still figuring out how I feel about the whole situation and what I should do as a human being and as an individual, as a woman, to support the other women that have gone through what they've gone through. What can I do? So I'm still kind of deciding that and figuring it out.
So if you're still trying to figure that out, what can a man do? What can I do? Where am I supposed to stand on something like this? Because, for example, I'll go back to Chris Brown. I think he's the most talented male R&B entertainer on the planet right now. I think he has the best music. I listen to the music. My way of not supporting him in that regard is by not going to the concerts.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the music they put out, streaming the albums, it's an ad for you to go see the show. So my part is not going to see the live show.
Yeah.
Is that enough?
I mean, it's something. It's a start.
You know, but then you got to look at it from, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
True.
So is my stance? Am I sitting on the fence?
I think we all kind of sit on the fence only because like we're human and we're not perfect. We're not. You know, we're very imperfect, and it doesn't lead to practical decisions, I think, about when these types of issues come up. It's very challenging because it's you're seeing it and it's real, but it's not necessarily touching your life.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's almost like they're not real people to the average person sometimes. It's becoming a movement and it's becoming this giant of a thing, but it's not happening to you specifically. So how much support for some people are they really going to think to give when it's not their sister, it's not their mother, it's not their aunt?
But then we have these people out there that are role models. Because, for example, Louis C.K., before all this stuff came out, he was one of my favorite comedians. He was definitely in my top 5 of current working comedians, right? So
yeah,
he, not a role model to me, but he might have been a role model to other people.
Well, to that I would say, like, I would never watch Louis C.K. again, for example. I would never, because he's a comedian. His show, it's a different format. He's the one speaking. It's his thoughts, it's his beliefs, it's his, everything in the show. He's giving everything of himself in the show. And I don't want to know your opinion and your thoughts and your beliefs anymore because you did this horrible thing to women. I don't want to. So if it's something as specific as that I could really like say, yeah, you know what? I won't ever watch that again. But it's you pick and choose. It's like a buffet. It's a buffet of, like your public opinion. Like, it's just you pick and choose what you're going to do and who you're going to like and who you're going to dislike.
So can people change?
I think absolutely people can change. I think people can change with help. I mean, this is a mental thing. Like, it's mental manipulation on their part as men in power towards women, but there's something other underlyingly sick thing that's going on with these men that is causing them to do what they do. Like, I'd like to believe that at heart and in like life, people are inherently good. That's what I like to believe. You know, I think that it's nurture, not necessarily nature, that creates people who do these messed up things.
So what do you say about when they're, because we're speaking about men specifically right now, I it's gonna sound one-sided, but how do you feel about when women say, I'm gonna do whatever blank says, and blank tells them to do some out there stuff, and they do it?
Now that's on the woman too. Like,
And so when you're a male in power and people are around you that are saying that to you, that's going to go to your head very quickly.
and the thing of it is, it's up to women as well, especially in sexual harassment, because a lot of these situations, there's some sexual assault, I believe, with Harvey, and there's some sexual harassment.
Yes.
So there's a mix of both. So to the victims of rape, I'm not going to speak on that right now, but to the sexual harassment, if a situation as a woman makes you uncomfortable with a man in power, you have every right to turn around and say no and report that man. But if you feel pressured by the industry, you're feeling pressured because will your career, tank, or will you go further? That's a decision that you're making to not report. That's your decision that you've made to sweep the situation under the rug and to allow that person to go on doing what they're doing.
So you're saying the person's choosing, let's say, their career over
you've made a choice.
Career over, I can't think of the word I'm using.
Like their personal welfare.
Okay.
Their personal welfare.
Okay.
They've chosen their career over their personal welfare. There's and again, these are choices that are very difficult to make in the moment. Mm-hmm. I've been in these moments. As I said, I've been sexually assaulted and I didn't report. And I, to this day, feel guilty for not reporting, because who knows how many other women have been victimized by the men that had victimized me. That is something that I have to live with by not reporting. But it's, for women, I think, with these situations, it's, again, fear of the repercussions that are going to happen, what's going to happen to them. Mm-hmm. In the situation, because they're not going to be treated like with kid gloves. Like, the gloves come off when it comes to harassment, assault, these types of things, and the victim becomes victimized often, like most of the time.
Yeah, I remember reading articles about it where they essentially put the victim's sexual history out there and just
tear them apart. Mm-hmm. And that's a well-known thing amongst women. So it plays a huge factor in why we don't report. So there's some changes that need to be made in that respect, because the amount of women that are coming out now saying that these men have assaulted them, we're talking in the 50s, we're getting to the hundreds with some people. Like, it's very disconcerting. It's very, very disturbing.
I would agree. Now, we know, I guess, how men become monsters. It's taught, in their households, and in the media. Yeah. So where are women learning their behaviors?
I would say it's the romantic comedy movement. I would say the rom-com movement, for sure. Because if you look at a rom-com's storyline,
okay,
it always has like a very one or two dimensional character female. Like, you don't know much about the female except that she's longing and desperate for love.
Yeah, you're right.
And then it'll be like she's in a coffee shop. She gets some coffee. Then she goes to walk outside and bumps into a very tall, handsome, strapping man. And like within an hour and a half, the movie ending, they're getting married.
Yeah.
Or they're engaged. Like, so women think that, like, this is the way that love works. This is the way that men work. And every man's a Prince Charming, a potential Prince Charming.
Yeah.
Which leads us to the Disney issue, because the Prince Charming idea comes from their childhood and watching Disney movies as well. Things like Beauty and the Beast, which
Yeah,
I think we watched together.
Yeah,
didn't
yeah, we watched that live action one.
Yeah, yeah, and it's the storyline. Like, you know, the woman, she's longing for love, and she's captured, and the whole, like, she has. I think you were saying when we were watching the movie, you're like, this is like a Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah,
Situation.
That's
Remember?
exactly what I
This is
said.
Stockholm syndrome. Like, yeah. So, you know, and then she falls in love with this beastly character, and then he turns into this beautiful, handsome prince. And we learned this. My Disney movie, my Achilles heel Disney movie is The Little Mermaid.
I love that one.
I love me some The Little Mermaid. Like, I know that soundtrack and that movie from rote to note. Like, that was my jam. Like, so I want to, every time I see like a guy with like dark hair and green eyes or blue eyes, I'm like, oh, that's Prince Eric. He's a Prince Eric.
Wow.
Like, yeah, that's what I call them for sure. And so, yeah, just with my Disney experience and just growing up on Disney movies, you do get a twisted sense of what relationships and love are supposed to be like. It's like, it's very weird.
Yeah, standing back and even taking a look at my marriage, I kind of see a link between rom-coms, Disney, and even newer reality shows. Like, it was just like my life was kind of like a combination of different elements pulled from all over those different formats, and it just wasn't real.
And there has to be now a movement, because women are so like, it's so ingrained in them, these romantic comedies, and like that's the way the structure of their life is to be, that when things don't turn out that way, when someday their prince doesn't come, they have to now look to things like self-help books to try to figure out why they're so messed up in the first place. So there's even a movement with self-help books. I read in an article saying that they're pushing the idea that like romantic comedies they're not set in reality.
No, they're not.
But the fact that you have to tell women that is insane to me. Like, I learned, I think in my early 20s that rom-coms were just to be consumed but it was like early 20s.
Okay, like, I didn't realize I was living inside of a rom-com until I took a step back and realized, no, my wife actually believes in this whole romantic comedy, like, real life thing. Like, she actually believes it, and I didn't understand. Like, these are movies.
Yeah,
they're not real.
And I remember we had also watched Friends with Benefits.
Yeah,
and in that movie, they're making fun of romantic comedies. And then the whole storyline turned out to be exactly like the romantic comedy they're making fun of.
Yeah, the opening scene, they pan across a poster with the ugly truth.
Yeah. So they're like, it's just, these movies, they're planting a seed inside of the female brain that they're not capable of being anything else but someone's princess or someone's love or someone's, girlfriend or someone's wife. Like, they have no gender identity outside of those roles.
Yeah, no goals, no hobbies.
Goals, no hobbies. This is what the generation is being fed, and this is what the mass media is feeding us. And you see it in social media too, because you see this push in social media. As we talked about, we've already had a conversation about social media, but you see this push with all the selfies and the looking pretty and the going online for dating, and the
selfie stick.
The selfie stick, so that you could get all the angles. And yeah, like, one of these girls that I work with was telling me that they post on Snapchat a thirst trap. Do you know what a thirst trap is? It's I don't know, like a sexy photo of yourself for like a guy that you're interested in. It's called a thirst trap. These young girls have all sorts of terminologies that I don't even know about. It's crazy. I'm learning.
So
a thirst
so
trap.
they send the guy a provocative photo.
No
head.
No, you can see them. Like, it's like a mirror image.
Oh, okay.
But they look very sexy.
Okay.
And it's a thirst trap. I can't express it any other way. That's what that is.
I don't know.
So if you get a picture like that, just know someone's trying to trap you. With their thirst.
I just I look at it. Unfortunately, we have a little cousin that has explained several of these
Hopefully we'll get her on the show
Yeah,
soon.
some of these actions, she's explained them to me, and I've had to laugh. And also, if I see a thirst trap, I'm seeing someone that is lacking self-confidence.
Yes, and that's what it's causing. It's low self-esteem, no self-confidence whatsoever. Like it's really breaking women down, and they're just
because you're objectifying yourself. Ultimately, you're basically
all
saying,
the time.
"I'm nothing more than this image that you see here." That's it.
But then there's this new push.
Okay.
There's this new push where networks are starting to create, and I specifically am referring to Netflix. I love Netflix. But Netflix has this show called She's Gotta Have It.
Okay.
And the whole premise of the show is that she's kind of like the man, quote unquote, of her 3 relationships that she's in. She's dating 3 men, sleeping with 3 men, really. And she's an artist, and she just does not want to be defined by these men. So she won't let them trap her into a relationship. They all want Nola. They all want her. They all want to hold on to her and like keep her like a butterfly in a cage, but she won't let them. And her character has so many dimensions. She's like an onion. It's a really incredible show. If you guys get a chance to watch it, definitely watch it. So yeah, like there's a new wave, because you saw that too in Girls Trip.
Yep. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, you pushed me on that one. You're like, you gotta watch it. Yeah,
and it was good. Like it was more mature. Women are my age, a little older. Like I think maybe late 30s, early 40s. They were. And they all have their own very strong, independent personalities. And it wasn't all about, the storyline wasn't all about love. It was about, female empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we need to see more of that in network television and movies.
I think we are.
And I definitely think we are I think Shonda's been a big help.
Mm-hmm.
Shondaland is crazy. Like, that's a place that I would love to live in. Like,
she writes just strong characters. Though.
Strong characters. Strong, like Olivia. Oh God, Miss Pope. That's like, she's my Scandal.
Oh yeah, that's
Scandal.
sorry.
Yes.
I watched like maybe a couple episodes. Of that.
Well, I'm into it. I love it.
Isn't it over?
Is it over?
I think so.
I'm still watching it on Netflix.
Oh, okay. You're like promoting Netflix here. Like Netflix, yeah. Watch Netflix.
Watch Netflix. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be. They're not paying us. They're not paying us. But yeah.
Where do you want to go from here? I mean, should we stop watching rom-coms? I mean, are we gonna try and wait for the good rom-coms to come, or the ones that are more reality based? Because what's gonna happen now? You're gonna have a swing where now you have a bunch of females that are now saying, I want to have this type of relationship where I don't have to commit, and then we're gonna have a generation
my kind of relationships,
and then we have a generation of no commitment. Are we like ending
that's
mankind?
My kind of relationships. Those man-hating, no commitment relationships. No.
Now is that just because you're mad?
No, it's not because I'm mad.
Are you an angry black woman?
I'm
gonna ask you that.
Woman. I'm very happy.
Are you?
I'm a very happy, well-adjusted black woman. A little crazy, definitely. I'm a crazy black woman. I'm not an angry black woman.
Okay.
But yeah, like I think what we're gonna see is definitely a either or. You're either gonna be the one who's still, thirsting after their prince.
You keep saying thirsting.
I love that word now, thirsting. After their prince, and like gorging on romantic comedies and taking that fantasy to be real. Or you're going to be the rage against the institution and rage against the standard and rage against the rom-com and define yourself by yourself and not by what men think of you, but I think the problem is that with that situation is that one's very left and one's very right. There needs to be a nice moderate middle ground where if you choose that you want to be married, get married.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
you don't get married. Don't feel like you're getting married as a statement to something other than love, so I think eventually it'll balance itself out. But my final dish on this is that, ladies, rom-coms aren't real. Rom-coms don't always tell the truth, and Disney literally always lies. So don't take these things as fact. And And maybe don't show kids too many of those old Disney movies. It's the older ones like the Snow Whites, the Beauty and the Beast, and the Little Mermaids, even though I love it. You know, show them the stronger ones, the newer ones, you know, because even Disney's changing. They're shifting and they're changing, and I appreciate that. So
either adapt or get left behind.
yeah, it's true. I'd either adapt or get left behind. But yeah, they're not real, and they shouldn't be the standard you set for yourself for your relationships and your love life. Set realistic goals for who you want to be with, and not ones based on a 90-minute production. So with that said, that's the dish of the day. Now, JR, if you could please tell them where they could reach me to send me my happy birthday wishes, I would very much appreciate that. Thank you. December 30th, 2017, 35. What?
You can reach Onika and even myself at the same place.
Well, it's not your birthday.
Okay, fine. You can reach Onika this week. You can reach Onika at dysh, DYSH, at DaintyDysh.com, DaintyDysh.com. You can check us out on Facebook at DaintyDysh. You can check us both out individually on Instagram at Best of Onika and Best of JR. You can also check out Onika and her shenanigans on Snapchat. She'll probably be snapping our birthday lunch, so you can probably take a look at that. And also, don't forget to listen to us on Apple Podcast. Rate us. Check us out on our website, DaintyDysh.ca. And we're also on the Google Play Music Store and SoundCloud under DaintyDysh. That is, I think I got it all.
Yeah, I think you did it. Anyways, y'all, I hope you enjoyed the show, and I hope you tune in next week. You guys have a happy, happy hump day, and I hope you had a very Merry Christmas.